He's English.
I'm so sorry.
What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new series Dept. Let's rock this. Okay, to give you a bit of context, this show is a remake. A remake of what, Rama? Well, a remake of a movie franchise from Denmark, which are all based on a book series by a Danish author. Specifically, if you've already seen the 2013 movie The Keeper of Lost Causes, then you've pretty much seen this new English language version, Dept, because aside from maybe a few tiny changes here and there, it practically covers the same story, the same twists and turns, etc, etc. So does this mean I don't like Dept? No, not at all. I actually like this remake because it does a splendid job of kind of transferring that moody Nordic noir to a Scottish atmospheric setting. And when I heard that this was brought to you by the same showrunner who gave us one of my all-time favorite miniseries, The Queen's Gambit, and when I heard that it was gonna feature that guy who played Ozymandias in Watchmen movie, I was like, you have me sold, because I knew I was in for an excellent detective story. And an excellent detective story is exactly what I received. Dept is dark, suspenseful, gripping, a brilliantly crafted tour de force crime drama that will leave you wanting more. Written and directed by Scott Frank, in Dept, DCI Carl Mork is a brilliant cop but a terrible colleague. After a shooting that leaves a young PC dead and his partner paralyzed, he finds himself exiled to the basement and the sole member of Department Q, a newly formed cold case unit. The department is a PR stunt there to distract the public from the failures of an under-resourced failing police force that is glad to see the back of him. But more by accident than design, Carl starts to build a gang of waifs and strays who have everything to prove. So, when the stone-cold trail of a prominent civil servant who disappeared several years ago starts to heat up, Carl is back doing what he does best, rattling cages and refusing to take no for an answer. Starring Matthew Goode, Chloe Perry, Alexei Manvilov, and Kelly MacDonald. One thing that stands out about this show is its sense of humor, and it's not the rolling on the floor, tickle your funny bone type. It's the kind of wisecracking dry humor a la Dr. House MD, for example, whom this character Carl Mork reminds me a lot of. So that cynical, sarcastic, razor-sharp attitude that don't give a fuck on the outside, but secretly cares deep down. And Matthew Goode effortlessly embodies all of that persona without breaking a sweat. His back and forth dynamics with his co-star Alexei as they channel their own version of Sherlock and Watson buddy cop partnership provide some of this show's most memorable highlights. Carl keeps asking Akram about his past in Syria, but Akram only teases us with bits and pieces, not the whole picture, and that's sort of like the bait that showrunner Scott Frank intentionally planted in order to make us, the audiences, demand Netflix to give us a potential season 2 in hopes that maybe Akram's backstory can not only be eventually explored, but it can also spill over into Carl's arrogant little world. And that's another point to bring up. This is a show with a strong, competent Muslim character without having to hammer that point incessantly. And the story also approaches his faith with full respect. He's just a badass sidekick who happens to be a Muslim. There are a total of 9 episodes, and every last one of them kept my interest, and each of them has a bit of a cliffhanger that makes you go, ooh, what's that all about? I gotta go check out the next one. With every revelation they dig up, the mystery gets more sinister and more absorbing. Some of the episodes are non-linear because it wants to gradually give you a blueprint of the victim's past and what led to her disappearance. But that format never once feels overwhelming, at least in my opinion. This is not just a whodunit, but it's also a what, how, and why done it. So the way that the pieces of the puzzle are slowly yet steadily put together is methodical, measured, and purposely designed to give the characters and the audiences a eureka moment. If you haven't watched the Danish version, or if you haven't read the books either, if you're coming in fresh, I think you won't find Dept as easily predictable as you might think, which is a good thing. But the appeal of this show lies more with the characters, the performances, the direction, and the dialogues, rather than about the reveals themselves. So yeah, overall I give Dept the rating of 4 out of 5. It's complex, intriguing, very well made, and I hope it becomes as successful as the Danish version, meaning hopefully there will be subsequent seasons after this, because if anybody deserves a steady employment, it's Matthew Goode.
He's English.
I'm so sorry.